Don't buy this shelter. Inside of every box, they pack 4 months of clouds in here.
Welcome to Astro Venture, the DSLR astrophotography channel.
Here we go, 4-man shelter from Lost Creek. I know I last told our viewership about this awesome shelter about 4 months ago. Unfortunately, this shelter seemed to come with 4 months of clouds. And we were not able to use the shelter in all that time. So we used it last night, and I'm now going to show you full setup and tell you how it went last night. Let's see here. All right. Now, first time setting it up, the hardest part was not the actual putting up of the shelter, but figuring out exactly how it is to kind of unfold the accordion of all this. Even though this is my second time doing it. Okay, there it is. Getting a little better at it. There we go. All right, perfect. Yep, there we go. Okay, now, has this strap. I'm going to pull this, and that causes the shelter to go ahead and bow the splines out. Let's move this over some more. So I think I'm kind of getting out of the view. Okay. Hold this one. Let's see here. And the black is the top. All right, let's see here. Get this. Now, as you can see, it's a little bit tricky to do. Popping these bows out works best. And give it a sharp jerk. Now, of course, this is easier with 2 people. And I'm sure with some more experience, I'll get better at this. I have no doubt there's some of you that ice fish, and you're kind of laughing at me because you're familiar with doing this, while I am a total amateur figuring this out. All right, here we go. You can see, even in my amateur status, it's able to do it. There we go. Now, I'm going to rotate this. Get the door around here. But as I was saying, the hardest part I find is figuring out exactly how to accordion out the legs to get it set up. All right, there we go. Got this rotated basically we would go around corner to corner till this finally settles out. And it's kind of sitting level. Now, along the bottom, you have this black skirting, and you have these large grommets. And there are these screw-in stakes for it. Put one in each corner, and then you also have additionals along with some rope so that you can run a line out to stake this down further. But we're not quite finished. We got to pop the ceiling now. Now, one of the beauties on here is that with this, open this up, and this door will move around, and it's got a little square to Velcro it open. Now I'm going to go inside and pop the center up. There we go. Additionally, on here, you've got a vent, and this is great because when we were in it last night, we were running a kerosene heater to provide us with our heat, and so we could open up this vent and then the one on the other side. And then you also have these windows. These were awesome because as we were out there and the night started off cloudy and overcast, we could look out the windows, check the sky, and never have to leave our shelter where it was 23 degrees outside. And let me show you. I'm going to open up this window. On the inside, there's a flap to pull down, and then the window also pulls down. So there you go. This completely opens up. Now, the window is removable. One of the things that we found, though, is that in trying to put this window back on and get all the tension that we needed to get it properly sealed up against the Velcro, one of the problems that we ran into is that under full tension here, we couldn't quite stretch the window to get it onto the Velcro. So what I would suggest is if you do pull one of these windows off, minimally do a corner, and if you do it completely, you're really going to have to pop the tension back out of this wall to loosen this material up so that you can go ahead and get the windows back into place. And then, like I said, up here, there's a flap that opens up to allow air to come through. And there's one located on each side of the shelter. The material, it's nice and thick. You can feel, this is an insulated material. And when we were in here, we had our kerosene heater going. Lowest setting we could do, I don't have an exact measurement as to what the output was, but we had it at its lowest. And we had the vents open on both sides. And then we would close up the door to about, let's see here. We'd bring it up about halfway. That's a transition between flaps being on here. And we would leave this here with those two vents open just to make sure that we were being very careful and cautious about having this kerosene heater running while getting enough air in and out to not kill ourselves off. And that worked great. Then what we did is we added in a fan to go ahead and circulate the air, because right about here, you could feel where the cold air was in the bottom of the shelter, and up above, the higher you got, it was warmer and warmer. So we actually had a fan blowing, and it was circulating around. We had it sitting on a table, blowing up and around. What I think I will do in the future, though, is take a small fan, and using the bows that are in the center, I will zip tie a small battery-powered fan, blow that air down to get it into the lower level, and that way there it helps to keep your feet nice and warm. Now, with that said, though, I was wearing these Doc Martens shoes uninsulated, and I never had a problem with being out there. You know, go out, do what I needed to for my Astro, come running back in, let my feet warm up back inside the shelter, and we were good. The only thing that we did have happen, which I wondered about, I knew that we would not have to deal with any bugs because it was way too cold. As I said, it was 23 degrees last night. But as we started to thaw the ground, we did have one flying insect that, you know, was drawn to the light that we had inside. But I know we must have drawn it out of the ground as the ground thawed from the heater. Overall, Sasquatch Mike and myself, we were in love with this shelter. The warmth, it was quiet. Previously, we always used what we called our homeless shelter. It was PVC piping with a tarp thrown over it, and we would put a heater inside. And, you know, it worked. It kept us warm. But this was heaven. It was quiet. You didn't hear the crinkle. You have the ability to secure this thing down. It will easily fit 4 people in here, or 4 adult-sized men. And then with that, you could put a heater. And like I said, we had a kerosene heater. You could probably do this. And again, we were very warm. We actually, at the point of, you know, having it closed up halfway and just having the vents over on the side and then this being open, once it got thoroughly warmed up inside, I was actually in this vest, t-shirt, pants, shoes, sitting in there, and I was comfortable. So with 4 adult men in here, you could probably run this with a simple little buddy propane heater and have enough warmth so that everybody's warm. And then, of course, if you wanted to, you could always up the amount of heat that you are putting out depending on how warm you want it to be within the shelter. This is not intended to be any kind of a waterproof shelter, and what I mean is along these seams where it's stitching and under this pressure, when you're inside of the shanty, you could see daylight through some of the stitching holes that are there. So it's not meant to be a tent. It's not meant to be waterproof. If you were going to try and keep it out there and have it set up and, you know, rain came in, you would definitely want to be throwing a tarp over this. It's like I said, not set up to be a water resistant, rain resistant, you know, tent. But for an insulated shelter to do Astro all night, absolutely amazing. One of the other things that I really liked was there is no floor inside of here. Let me open this back up. There is no floor to the inside. And so that was great because of the fact that, you know, you don't have that accumulated dirt, as well as, you know, you don't have to worry about things being spilled, because we were in here having some of my amazing chili. Sasquatch Michael attests to that. And some sodas and things, and, you know, just having that floor as opposed to a tent that you're going to mess up. Additionally, sometimes going out remote, you don't have to be worrying about rocks or sticks poking its way up and through. So there you have it, the Lost Creek 4-man, I guess it's an ice shanty. This thing is amazing. Got it at Sportsman's Warehouse. There is no kickback or anything for me, but it's great. Absolutely love this thing. And so if you're looking for a better shelter, definitely check this out. We are completely sold and wishing that we had gotten something like this a long time ago. One thing that I do want to mention, part of my need to set this up here, and, you know, one, I wanted to shoot the video to share this with you, but with the fact that we were warm inside and we had such cold outside, through the night, you could see, you know, because of us breathing and everything, you could see some water, some condensation showing up inside of here. So after using it on a cold night, you're really going to want to take this home, open it up, open up these windows, and make sure that everything is dry before you pack it up and put it away, so you don't cause any kind of rot or mildew. But, you know, setup, you could see, I did it myself. I'm 5'6". One thing that I do recommend is when you get ready to collapse this thing, I pop the center down, then I pop the sides in. but it's wrestling it back into its bag. One of the things that they do provide you one cinch strap. I really think I'll be adding 2 more, so I can do one in the middle and one on each of the ends to help cinch that down to get it into the bag. That will definitely help. It uses a strap with double D rings on it. I'm thinking I might make my own straps where I actually just have some clickable, buckles that I could do that, get them set to the size I need. But I'm going to let this sit out here, let that little bit of moisture condensation from last night settle out, and, then I'll get this all put away. But definite 5-star. I am loving this. And I see us being able to use this in both the spring, the fall, and the winter. And, spring and fall, obviously we're not going to need the heat. 4 people inside of this thing, or even 2. I think we're going to be plenty warm enough. But if we ever did need to add a little bit of heat, we can do that. And when you add in that fan to push that hot air down, it really, makes the environment inside amazing. Sasquatch Mike, he told me one of the things, and Sasquatch Mike is approximately 6 foot, big guy. He didn't have any problems getting in and out of the doors, and the thing he liked most was that he could actually stand up inside of this thing comfortably. And, myself being 5'6", I had lots of room, but he appreciated the height in there. So until next time, Astro Ventures, if you're looking for a shelter, check this out. Lost Creek sold through Sportsman's Warehouse, and this is the 4-man setup. Plenty of room for 4 guys in there, 4 chairs, and a smallish table in there that you could put drinks or, prepare food on. And there you have it. If you have any questions, please throw them in the comment section below. More than happy. If you're using one like this, another brand or this one, please, give a shout in there. And finally, love to see you over at our Facebook group, Astro Venture DSLR. And love to have you like, share, and, spread this video around, let other people know that in our Astro community that there's such an amazing shelter available to keep you nice and warm on those remote locations. Till next time, I wish you clear skies on eventful nights. Okay, let's do this. Let's put it all back together. Now, I don't know exactly how I'm doing this, but my first thought is I'm going to loosen this, okay, and so that way I have the tension off the ceiling, and then I'm thinking I'm going to pull in this side. There we go. That takes the tension off of the window, and then I can re-Velcro this. There we go. There we go. I think that's working well. There we go. Now, the trick is getting the top. Now, let me see here. There we go. Let's see. I have to pull this in again. Loosen this up. So what I'm doing is, with the tension off, I'm getting the Velcro matched up. There we go. There we go. Pretty good, not exact, but close enough that that'll work. And so now I'll do the same thing on this side. Pull it in, match it up. Okay, let's see here. Pull that in. Okay, and I think I need to do, there we go, match that up, going across the top, there we go. And then, now this would definitely be easier with a second person because they would be able to reach around. I think I'm doing through the door. Get these matched up. All right, pop that back out. There we go. Okay, same thing. I'm on the back side. Obviously, you can't see me there. I'm reaching out through the window. we go. And putting this all back. That's definitely the way to do it. You got to take the tension off. You're not going to get the window on there. And then need to do the same thing I suggest for the window cover. It covers the window. So again, I'm on the back side and you can't see me. But I'm also showing you, although you can't actually see me at the moment, I'm also doing this so that those of you that are still watching can see the teardown and what's involved. There we go. Put this cover over. There we go. Okay. Cover is on. There we go. And then from there, pop it back out. Excellent. There we go. And it looks like to actually put the cover over the window, I don't have to pop the sides in. There's enough slack there. There we go. Okay. So windows are all in place. Take the stake out, toss it to the side. Time to, want to need the strap on the outside. Okay, so let's close this up. I do like that the zipper has these grab cloths to be able to get a hold of them. What I'm thinking I'll probably do though is, let's see here. There's actually two zippers, one at the top, one at the bottom. But what I'm thinking I'll do is maybe add a brightly colored piece of cloth or something just to make it a little more visible in the dark. Okay, top is punched in. I'm gonna grab the top here, punch that in. Grab this, and then same thing, punch the bow in. Okay, I'm gonna grab over here, punch the bow. And then, let's see here, get this one, pop the bow. Okay, now, this was that tricky part, but figuring out how it all goes together. What I'm thinking it is I have to bring the corners in to the center. Yeah, that seems to be the trick. Again, if you're watching at home and you know what you're doing, feel free to share what it is that I don't know. Because I'm doing the best that I can figure out. Here we go. Now for the strap. Let's see here. Put this down. Okay. Now, pull this in. This is where, like I said, having some additional straps, maybe one across this middle, and one down here behind me at that end would probably be a good idea. Not so much at that end, closer towards the camera. This way here, we can cinch this thing down. Go. And it's all dried up. Okay. Has this pouch for these. I'm going to definitely be changing that out. I don't like it. It's too flimsy. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to leave it out for now. My worry would be the sharp pointy ends of those stakes punching into the actual shelter. Apologize for my neighbor's dogs, they bark endlessly. Let's see here. Let's move this over. This into the bag. It's much like getting a new tent. They come out and there's so much extra room inside of that tent bag. Then you go to put it back in and for some reason it seems to be really short on all that extra room that it had when you took it out the first time. Okay, there we go. Now, the zipper on the shelter is really good. This zipper, I don't have a lot of confidence in, so I'm using my legs to squeeze it together, so I'm not putting stress on the zipper itself. But I think that'll also help in the future once I add in some additional straps to go around the actual shelter. And then this will eventually go back in, but I'm going to get myself a beefier bag to put that in because those stake screws are pretty sharp, and for right now I just don't like that bag. I'm gonna look for something. I'm gonna probably get myself a small soft side canvas like tool bag, throw those in, and then I'll be able to add it back into here. So there you have it. That was the teardown.